Hey guys, Colton Hawk here, and today I want to make an introduction video about how to use Inventor. I think a lot of people try to get into CAD work, but they think it's going to be too complicated, and I want to just show you the basics of Inventor and pretty much how to do simple things. Create a 3D object and maybe put a hole in the 3D object, okay? So first, I want to talk about the 4 different types of things you can create in Inventor. So parts, assembly, drawings, and presentation. This video is going to mostly focus on parts, but pretty much how this works is if you create a part, you can then take the part, pretty much into like how the drawing is, and then assemble the parts. So you take the parts and assemble them. Then you can make drawings of this. So that would be something you would print out, and so you would have the dimensions of that object. And so then if you wanted to go machine it, or maybe you needed to take it to a machine shop or something like that, they would have the dimensions, and then they can machine it. Presentation is like, say you want to go up in front, pretty much a presentation. It's just you can show the movement of an object and stuff like that, show how it functions so that you can present and talk about it. So I want to start out with, um, I always use the standard IPT. There's other templates, but the standard one's just as simple as it gets. Just start with the standard. You can hit create. Once you create it, give it a sec. Slow computer. I want to talk about the different toolbars. First, I want to talk about the 3D model toolbar. So the 3D model toolbar is mostly all 3D modeling stuff, but the first thing is very big, and we'll come back to it, and that says 2D, which has nothing to do with 3D modeling, but they put it there kinda so you don't have to come over to Sketch and then do it. So this is all your sketches, so this is everything you would do in 2D. Then you have your different inspect tools, so that's if you want to measure or get a different angle of an object and stuff like that. Maybe I'll show you how to use some of that stuff in this video. Tools also measuring how the object looks, so you can change the appearance, change color, change metals, stuff like that. Manage is all about like the file and exactly how it works, and this is where it gets really complicated. I've never really used any of this stuff. I've never gotten to this much complicated work where I need to use any of this stuff. Next is view. So this is so if you want to make it like smooth and realistic, or maybe you just want it the lines, and maybe you want the lines outlined so you can actually see through the object, and hidden lines and stuff like that. We'll get into what stuff that is. Environment, that's if you want to add like stresses and like real world stuff. BIM, I'm not sure what BIM is. I think this is so you can go from program to program, if I'm not completely sure. Maybe somebody can correct me. I would never use it. I've never used it. Getting started, fundamentals, that's just the beginning page when you open it. Autodesk 360 is like their like online file store thing. So that's just the basic of all the tabs. So then you have this over here, which we'll get into more. The model part. You've got your model. Down here you have this part, which is open. It's kind of like tabs in your browser. So every single part starts with some kind of sketch. Most of the time it starts with a 2D sketch. It can start with a 3D sketch, but I've never done that. I don't think you're ever going to have to do that. So I would, obviously this is a basic video, so we're going to start out with a 2D sketch. So this is your different planes that you can start working on. This is your XZ plane, your XY plane, and then your YZ plane. All of these different planes, for a basic user, it's not going to really matter that much. I always start in this plane. If you're going to do cam work, like put it in a CNC machine, this might matter. But because of how what we're doing, it doesn't really matter what basic CAD work, where we're just trying to create an object that then we can maybe machine on a normal machine, you know, a Bridgeport or something like that. Nothing where we need to actually go and like put it and make cam and stuff like that. I would recommend Fusion 360 if you're going to do that, because there's a free cam right in there. I might make a Fusion 360 video later on, but starting with Inventor. So I just opened and started a sketch on the I think it's the XY plane, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe no, it's XZ plane. See how these are two going? XZ plane. Um, and today I'm going to show you how to make this simple 3D shape right here. Um, it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it, but this is a good basic to show you how to create an extrusion and a hole and even create an angled object, because it says the radius but it doesn't show you what angle this is. So this is a situation where you're going to create all these other lines and then meet these 2 points. A good thing about having a CAD software is sometimes when you're trying to measure an object and you go to put that in, like say you have a real world object that you want to put in CAD. Sometimes you can't find an angle, but you can find two measurements that lead up to that angle, and then you can connect the dots in an Inventor file, and this can really help when you're going to machine something, um, and you don't have to know as much math is really how it helps. So I'm going to start with this file here. Um, it's all about, the first thing you need to think about when you're like, I have dimensions already, but when you have an object, you need to think about what side of the object will be the easiest to model and then extrude. What an extrusion is you take a 2D object like this face right here, and then you extrude it out that length to make it a 3D object. I will show you this in a sec. So in this situation, the easiest face to start with is this face right here, this side face. I consider it a side face. So this is side, probably that's top. This is front, that's back, or front, bottom. No, this is bottom. So it's top, bottom, front. I don't know what the other one is. And then it's another side. What's the opposite of top? But it doesn't matter. So we're going to start with this face right here. We know that it's 2 inches this way, 3 inches across, a half an inch, 1.5 inches there, 1 inch there, and then we will connect these two dots from here to here. Um, so I kind of want to be able to keep this up, but it's going to be pretty hard to keep up at the same time. So I will try to remember. So I'm going to start from the origin. This is the origin, which means 0, 0. Origin is a 0, 0, just like, you know, if you're graphing something in math class, something like that, you know, origin 0, 0. So this was 2 inches, I believe. So right now it's in inches, but you can change it to millimeters if you're in a foreign country. I will show that in another video, how to change to millimeters. So this is 2 inches up. So that creates a line. It also creates this constraint. Now what constraints are I don't know how exactly to explain it, but constraints are pretty much a way to hold the object to a spot, to an element, or this in this instant, it's horizontal and vertical, I believe, is what that. No, it's just horizontal constraint. So if you read this, causes lines, ellipse axes, or pairs of points to lie parallel to the x-axis of the sketch coordinate system. Now, I believe it's this one, just to let you know, because it's parallel to the y-axis. I just clicked on the wrong one because I was confused about it. It should be the other one, because this is not horizontal to the horizontal causes line and the x. Oh, it's because this is a situation because we clicked this plane, because we clicked the XZ plane. This is actually the x-axis, when for some reason I thought it was the y. So this is the x-axis. So this constraint will hold everything to the x-axis, parallel to the x-axis. So it would be always a 90-degree angle. Okay, so we know that's 2 inches. Let's go back. This is 1.5 across. So we got a 1.5. Simple as that. Click the spot, over. Okay, you have all these dimensions that will come in play eventually. This is 3 inches. Boom, 3. Now, we're gonna create a 1 inch. Boom, and then we're gonna connect these two dots. I messed up. Did not connect those two dots. You see how that was green? Connecting those two dots. Blue. Boom. That is connected shape, and the dimensions are already here. Now stuff you can constrain to make sure this is always stays the same. You can do this one, which is pretty much what this picture is. It's saying that it's always a 90. Boom. Well, it says it's going to over constrain it because it's already got horizontal, vertical stuff. So you already have these constraints which say they're going to be parallel. So it's pointless really to do that because it's constrained to be always parallel to this axis, constrained to this axis. So adding these constraints saying this is always going to be 90 is pretty much pointless because the x and the y are always, or the x and the z in this situation are always parallel. I mean perpendicular. They're always perpendicular. So next we're going to add this hole. So they say the radius of this hole is 1 inch, and they say that this just is off these angled lines right here. So boom, boom. So do that. I will draw pretty much a reference line. You can actually create reference lines, I believe, but I'm not sure how to do it. It doesn't really matter because once you create a sketch and then you extrude it, your sketches then disappear, but not permanently. I'll show you how to fix that. You saw what I did there? So I came down, lined it up with that line, and went over. I'll show you again. Down, come over, be like, whoa, oh, and then boom. There. So then, put a circle here. Even though it shows radius is always diameter. So, it says radius of 5, so this is a 1 inch. Boom. There we go. Delete. You don't have to delete that line, but you can delete it if you want to. So now we have the object that we're trying to draw. So then we're going to finish the sketch. Now this is where you create your actual 3D object. So now we're going to come back over, and we're going to extrude it out 2 inches because that's what it says right here. You see what the drawing is? So this is the side view, this is the top view, and this is the front view. So it's 2 inches extrusion. So boom, we're going to go here, we're going to extrude, and we're going to go out 2 inches. Easy as that. Hit OK. So then here you've got your object. Pretty simple little object there. So I want to show you next, I want to show you about making it look how it is. You see how you can't see this line right here? And you see how in here they have hidden lines and stuff like that? I'm in the corners right here if you notice. So this is how you like rotate your object too. If I haven't talked about this yet, I don't think I have. This is how you rotate your object. Your different views and stuff. So it says this is bottom and stuff like that. That doesn't really matter in our situation. So this view right here, nope, here, I'm trying to find the correct view here, the one that like shows. So this one right here. Yep, there we go. Actually, I think it's this. That's the one that's like in the drawing, right? Yep, it is. So then, say you want to see the hidden lines. Then you go your visual styles. Shaded with edges. Now you can just see all your edges. Pretty easy. Shaded with hidden lines. Now you can kind of see those hidden lines in there, but it's kind of hard because of being shaded. Just wireframes with hidden lines. Boom. There's your hidden line. There's your hole through it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. I think People think CAD's a little more complicated than it actually is. I think that once you get to learn it, you can pretty much create whatever you want in CAD, and you don't need to know that many skills because you can pick up on things. Um, Say you need to learn how to do something for one object. Once you have learned that, you can take that onto another object. It's a building up of skills. Um, Using different parts of Inventor. Once you need just start with something. Start modeling something. Pick something that you want to model. Whatever it is, you know. Take your pencil and take a ruler and start measuring and model it. You will learn new techniques that you haven't done before. Once you learn those techniques, move on to a harder object. And eventually you will have learned everything you need to know in Inventor. It's as simple as that. Um, Say the reason you want to learn CAD is so you can um, maybe build something, right? Machine something. So you wanna learn how to make it in CAD. So you take that object. Say you want to. Let me rephrase this. So say you want to machine something, right? But you don't know how to do the CAD for the object. But you already have the object and you want to recreate that object. So take your calipers, your micrometers, your depth mics, stuff like that, and go at it and make the object in CAD. Not only will that make that object easier to machine because you understand the object better, um, it'll also help you build your skills in the long run. Even if the object's simple, make it in CAD. It's also so you don't have to measure the object if you're trying to recreate something every single second. You're not like over here. You're like, oh, I forgot what this dimension is. I'm gonna come over here and measure it 50 times. It's set in stone dimensions too, because um, machining isn't perfect, right? Even surface grinding isn't perfect, and so when you're going to machine something, it may be a little different. And so if you want to recreate two objects, you may have a little different dimensions every single time you measure it. So you make CAD files to have set in stone dimensions. That's another reason you have it. So now that we have that, I want to just simple as enough save like anything else. Go to your desktop, blah blah blah, put it in there and save. Simple as that. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you can find something useful out of my basic Inventor video. I hope it wasn't too long drawn out. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and peace out, guys.